Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Ellie Macmillan, and I am interning at Retire Safe and bringing you this webinar on pharmacy benefit managers and explaining how they affect your life. Pharmacy benefit managers, or better known as PBMs, are the middleman between drug manufacturers, health insurance plans, and pharmacies. PBMs are known to favor more expensive drugs because that is what gets them a higher profit. They also negotiate drug prices and rebates with drug manufacturers, but these are not disclosed to the public, which causes a large lack of transparency. Manufacturers pay rebates to PBMs, which are discounts that are protected by safe harbor protections. The PBMs will then make a list of approved drugs called the formulary that the health insurance will cover. The PBMs will give some money to lower premiums for people on health insurance plans, but this does not have a direct effect on people who pay out-of-pocket costs. Here are different ways that PBMs can make money. PBMs can make money from rebate sharing from the manufacturers and given partially to insurance companies. There is pharmacy spread, where health plans are billed for amounts higher than they reimburse pharmacies. There are PBM-owned pharmacies. A very commonly known one is CVS. There are administrative fees that are charged by PBMs per script and per claim, and there are DIR fees. This is money charged to the pharmacies after the sale of drugs that cannot be predicted. This chart was made by the Commonwealth Fund and represents how money is moved around within the PBMs. As you can see, the green arrow represents the flow of funds, and you can see how money moves between the four actors: the drug manufacturer, pharmacy benefit managers, pharmacies, and health plans. And the blue arrow represents different services, and you can see how the services flow between all of these actors and how pharmacy benefit managers are in the middle because they represent the middleman. Part of the PBM's job through their contracts with pharmacies is to validate, audit, and terminate. The PBMs must validate the pharmacies before entering a contract to make sure all state and federal laws are being followed. They need to be reaccredited every few years. PBMs then audit the pharmacies in order to detect any improper payments. This is also to verify that the patients have received the correct medication and dosage. PBMs then could terminate contracts with pharmacies if they do not follow their regulations. This could be for various reasons, including engaging in mail-in orders or waiving co-payments. Now I'm going to discuss 4 different lawsuits that have been brought up against PBMs. First, I want to talk about CenterCorp versus Ohio. This was a lawsuit filed in the state of Ohio because Ohio claimed that PBMs have overbilled them and the Department of Medicare. CenterCorp paid Ohio to settle this for $88.3 million. Kimberly A. Negron versus Cigna was a lawsuit filed because the PBM caused pharmacies to charge excessive amounts on prescription to uninsured patients and took illegal clawbacks. Boss versus CVS Health Corp was a lawsuit brought up because it is alleged that CVS Health Corp and other PBMs have colluded to fix insulin prices and costs have dramatically increased. Prime Aid Pharmacy Corp. And Express Script Incorporated was filed for an antitrust lawsuit based off an alleged fraudulent scheme and anti-competitive behavior. The entire concern around PBMs and their market is the anti-competitive behavior that exists. Next, I want to discuss some legislation that senators are trying to pass that would affect the current state of PBMs. H.R. 3682, entitled Improving Transparency to Lower Drug Costs, Act of 2021. This bill requires the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid to publish payment information regarding PBMs. This bill is currently stuck in committee. H.R. 19, entitled Lower Cost, More Cures, Act of 2021. This bill requires Centers of Medicare and Medicaid services to publish information from PBMs, including generic dispensing rate, drug discounts, rebates, payments between PBMs, health plans, and pharmacies, and lowers out-of-pocket costs. H.R. 2608, Ensuring Seniors Access to Local Pharmacies Act of 2021. This bill requires prescription drug plans to allow any pharmacy located in a health professional shortage area or rural area to be included as an in-network pharmacy if the plan already has other in-network pharmacies in the same area. This bill also establishes certain standards for prescription drug plans regarding pharmacy reimbursement and related disclosures. The past administration wanted to eliminate rebates and improve transparency regarding PBMs. Some of the goals of the past administration, including replacing the rebates with discounts directly offered to patients instead of going through a middleman. The manufacturers will have incentives to offer lower list prices, which will cause the original cost of the drug to go down, regardless of your insurance status. And finally, PBMs will have more incentives to offer greater discounts. The past administration then retracted this plan, and other politicians fear the effects of eliminating rebates. Some of these fears include the uncertainty around how the manufacturers will react, and this may cause drug prices to increase. And finally, this may have a negative impact on premiums and government spending. And to conclude my presentation, I wanted to ask you a few questions and see what you have learned over this presentation. Now, these questions come directly from my presentation, so if you want to go take a look back, please feel free to, but I will now go over the questions. Number 1, in what ways can the PBMs make money? A, selling prescription drugs, B, negotiating with manufacturers, or C, managing health plans. And number 2, what deterred the past administration from banning rebates? A, the unknowing impact of how drug manufacturers are going to react. B, PBMs refuse to comply. And C, health insurance plans will be negatively impacted. And again, the answers to these questions are in my presentation, so if you want to take a look back, please do so now because I will be going over the answers. So for number 1, in what ways can the PBMs make money? The correct answer is B, negotiating rebates with manufacturers. Selling prescription drugs is the job of the pharmacies, and the managing of the health plans is the job of the health insurance. And negotiating with manufacturers is the main job of the PBMs. That is kind of what they're meant to do. So number 2, what deterred the past administration from banning rebates? The correct answer would be A, the unknowing impact of how drug manufacturers are going to react is the correct answer because it is true. We were never able to ban the rebates because we do not know how the drug manufacturers are going to react. B, the PBMs refuse to comply, and C, the health insurance plans would be negatively impacted is not a confirmed fact, although it could be a theory of how they're going to react to banning rebates, but we do not know this, and that is why A, the unknowing impact of how drug manufacturers are going to react is the correct answer. Thank you so much for following along this presentation. I just wanted to give a little bit of info so you can contact us. Our email is info@retiresafe.org. Our phone number, our office phone number is 202-628-5095. And you can find more information of this on our website, www.retiresafe.org. And you can find other webinars like this. Please follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. We would be happy to have you follow along. Thank you so much. Here are some of our sources that we used. And this concludes my presentation. Please look at these sources for any more information that you would like. Thank you so much for following along.